Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. Once again I'm outside. This is Derek's sliding door right behind me. My mother's bed is right there behind that. And I'm outside because it's so hot in Derek's apartment. And it's nice and cool out here, but I don't like this very bright sun. I am trying to hide behind a tree. And I thought I would jump in and chat with you guys. I'm not going to really talk necessarily about moving things because I have to find something normal in my life, and I'm having a hard time doing that because everything I own is in a warehouse in Massachusetts. My stuff hasn't even left the East Coast yet. There's a whole story involved about that, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I've been a prisoner to the house because I forget that I can take a cell phone with me. I cannot wait to have a landline. I absolutely hate cell phones with a passion. Tried to call the electric company because I got a $60+ bill and I have never even turned a light on in that apartment. I've only been in it once. I did go. I will do an empty apartment tour for you guys as soon as I have time. I went in and I love it. It's very much like Derek's, but I think I'm going to have a better view out the sliding glass door for my mother. And it's just a little tiny bit different anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's empty that I liked it so much because it looked bigger. But it's the same size as Derek's apartment. So I will do an apartment tour as soon as I can. Derek right now has gone to get Skylar and her friend, AG. I have not met AG before, and they're going to be coming over after school, and I have been hanging out here all day. Oh yeah, about that electric bill. Cannot get anybody on the phone. I let myself be on hold for over an hour. Did not like that. Even though I can do other things, it's on speaker. It's just, I can't really start something else because it's, it just bothers me that I'm on hold. Hung up, tried to make a couple of other calls, wasn't successful. Went back to the electric company. I stayed on hold over a half hour the second time, gave up. Just curious, am I paying somebody else's bill? I mean, it seems like an awfully high bill for a vacant apartment. Then I called my insurance at home because I need to change the policy for my home to a vacant policy. I know some people say, oh, just don't tell them, they'll never know. They'll know if something happens, and then they'll say, oh, you mean your house was vacant? So I want to do all the right things. And I also am going to have to change my car insurance, but I'm going to wait until a little while, and I'd like to get my new license and plates and all that stuff. And just so many steps, and I'm not fond of any of them. Another new thing weighing on my mind is that the hospice here that we've received so far, starting Monday, this is Friday, doesn't even come close to the care that we were getting in Maine for my mother for I think like 3 weeks, and also for my father and a brother. So I'm pretty familiar with hospice, and this is just falling flat. For instance, Wednesday, who I'm trying to think, what was the issue on Wednesday? Oh, somebody came to give my mother her sponge bath, and I wasn't able to do anything but help her. She's like, oh, can you come here? Can you roll her toward you and hold her? Okay. And so I'm standing there the whole time that, she's washing my mother's back and stuff. And then she says, I'm going to tuck this pad underneath, and then you roll her toward me, and then you get that pad out from under her. I said, I'll tell you what, I have her toward me. You tuck the pad in, then we're going to switch places. You roll her toward me on the other side. You pull that pad. The whole thing is that I'm supposed to be catching some kind of a break here. And, it was the first time, so I showed her, I said, everything you need is right here in this, those plastic, like, basins or tubs or whatever they are. I said, everything she needs is right here, including the gloves, the ointment. I said, she gets this ointment put on her butt, and here are the underwear kind of pull-ups, and then the diaper kind of things, and the chucks, they call them pads here, we call them chucks, I don't know. So I'll probably go with pads. Everything you need. And I said, you have this one for the water to bathe my mother. I give her a table, and then I helped her through the whole process. I had to be the one to roll my mother and hold my mother. She finishes bathing my mother, which took literally minutes. I mean, like maybe 15 minutes, and I'm thinking she's going to hang out for an hour. But no, they come only 30 minutes. I thought I was going to have time to go maybe do a few things or whatever. And they don't even stay the 30. If she's done in 15 or 20, she leaves right away. And she says, okay, that's it. And she leaves. And she leaves, and I look, and everything was out. I had to empty the water. I had to gather all the supplies. The towel she used was on the bed. She didn't put anything away. And I was like, this is odd. The one she had in Maine would have never done that. And she would stay her whole hour, even if it meant just sitting there talking to my mother. Or in this case, at least stay the half hour. So yesterday somebody comes out, and she is not going to bathe her. And I had my mother sitting in her wheelchair. And I told my mother, I said, your aide is supposed to be coming. So I said, I'm going to just have her put you back to bed to give me a break again. And the aide comes, and she said, am I bathing her? I said, no. She goes, oh, then they'll do it tomorrow? I said, yeah. And she goes, okay, then there's really nothing for me to do. I said, well, yeah. I said, could you change her bed and then put her back in bed? She goes, can she walk? And I said, no. She goes, I can't put her back to bed. It's like, what kind of care is this? I said, well, she can stand with her walker. You know, you need to be near her, and then she can, turn a little bit. That's the most my mother can do. I think I got her to do actually 3 steps. And when I'm talking steps, I'm talking about maybe a shuffle of like moving her foot maybe 5 or 6 inches in front of the other one. I'll be able to get her back to being able to be a little bit mobile, because nobody else does that, and they have to keep doing that or they won't be able to. But anyway, she said, we're not supposed to. She says, she's going to have help by 2. And I said, well, she's not ever had help by 2. I said, the aides in Maine were able to do this, So I said, well, let me show you how I do it, in case we have you again. And then that was it. We got her in bed, and she took off. So needless to say, I don't like any of that. It is adding to my stress, and I should not have an aide come here, and then when she leaves, I'm all hot and sweaty from helping to bathe my mother and put all her shit away. But anyway, I had already decided that I needed help, hired help. I told you guys that. Now I have decided that has to happen. Oh, there's Derek and Skylar and AJ. AG. I always want to say AJ, but it's AG. I wonder if I can get them to say hi. Hang on. I don't even shut it off. Do you want to say hi, Skylar? No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Okay, I'll say bye for a second. Okay, the girls were shy. Derek not so much, but I didn't want him on my channel. No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to fill you in that I knew I wanted to hire help for my mother. I talked to a few agencies while waiting to move here, and I picked one. Let's hope I do a good job picking this. I don't seem to do a good job. And I called them today, and the woman is coming out on Monday to assess my mother, to see what we need for help. And the woman on the phone said, because I asked, I said, my mother's in hospice. Is there a conflict? Because one agency that I had talked to, they won't work in the home if there's any other agency in the home. I don't know if that included hospice. At the time, I didn't know for sure, but they wouldn't have other people. So she said, yes. She says, your mother's hospice? I said, yes. She goes, who do you have? And I said, and I told her, and she says, do you like them? And I said, actually, not so much. She says, because we partner with a hospice, and she said, when Jennifer comes out on Monday, if you want to talk about that, we could talk about switching you to the hospice that we do business with, because there's a whole bunch of different hospice. Some are profit, some are non-profit. Like the nursing home that my mother was supposed to go to, they only work with two different hospice. Like they have a hospice wing, but you have to be admitted to one of those two hospice agencies to be able to be in that wing. I heard a noise and thought that my camera was running out, but it's still running. So I'm very anxious. I'm going to start, what I want to start with is 4 hours a day, because it has to be 4-hour chunks, except for a wellness check at night. Can be 2 hours, but I'm not exactly sure how that works yet. 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. And she said, we're very flexible. If you want to cut that back, you need to add extra hours. And I'm like, my plan is to add extra hours. I want my mother to have as much care as possible, so I am free to work. So I'm very excited about that for Monday. Right now, everybody's here, so I feel like I need to go back in the house. And I just wanted to jump in, go watch Derek's video. He had a new one about, what was your video about? It was good. Yeah.
How to minimize stress.
Oh yeah, minimize stress. And we had a very stressful trip here, so that made him, think about talking about that. And I don't know, I just think he's interesting, and I like to listen to him, and his voice is soothing. It's like ASMR. I'm so happy when he says he has a video. I'm like, yes, I can't wait to go to bed tonight. I only watch videos at night, and so he's my favorite YouTuber. All right, you guys, I know I'm leaving a lot of... Ow, I almost dropped my glasses, and it made me, very jumpy for some reason. I am going to sign off. I would like to jump in as many times as I can, fill you in on things, but I'm scatterbrained, I really, really am. So just bear with me. I wanted to work on fabric today, but I got thrown off by all these stupid phone calls where I can't actually reach people. I wanted to take my mother in her wheelchair to go see the apartment today. It's a nice day, but see, we never did that because I didn't know when hospice was coming to wash my mother's ass. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.